Every legend has a story. Every story has a beginning. New energy, new show, new money. Coming soon to the BDH the D-Money Show. Live on YouTube, weekdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Took those buys off the 200 level. Who's doing it like we doing it at the BDH, the D-Money Show, Power Hour? Nobody's doing it like us, chat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I close. I'm out. Where's my money bucket? Where's that money bucket at? It's raining money, chat. It's raining money. The market maker's raining money on me. We got a visitor, chat. Let's see who it is. Jerome's in the house. Live from the BDH. I'm here, baby. That boy good. That boy good. That boy good.
Every legend has a story.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We back in the spot to be. D-Money in the house. D-Money in the house. D-Money in the house. Another day, another dollar. We are back in the BDH chat. Thank you guys for tuning in for Tuesday's action. I'm a little upset. I got to be honest. Right? So what happened with the market? Oh, my goodness. The dump fest occurred. So I saw PW actually caught a 100-point plus trade. Right? So shout out to PW for that. So we're back. We are back, chat. Feels good to be back in the BDH. It is Tuesday. We are locked in. So we're going to see what we can catch today based off of the moves that occurred already, right? So we're going to be patient. We're not going to chase. We're not going to fret. We're going to do what we're going to do what we do for Power Hour, right? So, but first off, I do want to thank you guys for actually tuning in yesterday. Everybody that tuned in yesterday. So overwhelming response, guys. So I truly appreciate it. I'm humbled by it. Excited to keep it going. Right? So we're going to get into it. So you want to learn what I do. So, well, tune in to Power Hour. You're going to learn. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Nobody is doing it like us, chat. So we got Jerome that's going to be making an appearance this week. Right? We got some other things planned for the week. That's correct. Marius, tune in every day and learn. Let's go. I'm excited, chat. So we are back. We are live. So just kind of looking at the chart. All right. So let me kind of zoom in on this. Let's go to the 1 hour chart, right? That's here. So this is the 1 hour chart. We had a pump fest that basically happened. And we're sitting on the 1 hour chart above the 50 EMA, right? So that's where we're kind of sitting right now. So this is the afternoon session. So what I typically do is I am going to wait until the close of this current 1 hour candle, right? And I want to see how it closes. And then I'll try to pick a direction for my buys for the day. So Keith, you're a really good trader. Same style trade every time. Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right? So not going to change how I trade it, right? Same process, win or lose. This group needs a money bucket emoji. So yeah, we're going to be bringing out the bucket, guys. I know I didn't bring out the bucket. If you tuned in yesterday, we actually, we took 2 trades, 2 winning trades actually yesterday. So no complaints on that. So definitely thrilled about that. Every day won't be that way, right? I mean, you might have a loss here or there, but the goal is to make money. So that's the whole process, right? That's why they call me D-Money. So yeah, definitely gonna bring out the bucket if we hit some winning trades. Don't you worry. D-Money, how big are your stops? 10 points, 20 or 30? It just depends on the setup. So it depends on the setup. So if I'm actually taking a trade directly off the 1 hour chart, Then my stop loss, it's gonna depend on the wick, right? The top wick of the previous 1 hour candle. So if you kind of look at this current 1 hour chart that we're in, right? So if I'm looking at a sell right now, so I'm looking at the 1 hour candle to the left, this 1 hour candle here, and basically my stop will be above this previous 1 hour candle's wick. So whatever that works out to be. In this case, from the high of this current candle, that would actually be about 10 points, right? So I would probably give it a little bit more breathing room, maybe 15, 20 points. What prop firms are you trading with now with funded accounts? So I'm actually trading Lucid accounts. So straight to funded Lucid accounts, 150K accounts, 4 of them. Do you trade mini or micros? So I don't trade micros. I trade minis. So as far as the wicks, guys, like I tried to adjust the wicks, but I didn't have a ton of luck here. It's already at 100%. I'll try to make it darker, as you can see like on the screen here, but I don't know if that helped, but it's at 100%. So I'll play around with it again tonight when I get home and see if I can make it a little fuller. So, but we're only going to get better, chat, right? We're only going to get better. So second stream, right? We back in the BDH. PW somewhere in the desert. So I'm sure you guys probably saw his videos that he posted. So those are cool. He's somewhere in his truck driving through the desert, guys. Me and Ginger, we're here. We're in the BDH. It's nice and soothing to the eyes, not too Yahoo color. D-Money, where's the red at? Yeah, so my black candles are red candles, right? So that's just something that I made a transition to, guys, probably about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and that's how I trade now, right? So awesome. If I want to learn as to trade, man, you're a cool man. Hey, I appreciate that. So I appreciate you tuning in. D-Money, can you make your wicks darker? Some screens it's hard to see. Yeah, I tried. So I tried to make it actually darker, but it's not it's at 100% right now. So I literally went to the wicks. I did a modification. Let me try it on this. All right, so it did work on the green candle. It's a little bit darker, but that's as dark as I can get it, guys. I apologize for that. So yeah, like that's a good point. Yeah, Mila, how you doing? Yeah, I changed the wicks to black. They are black. So yeah, you guys, if you're trading, right, you should have your charts open. So your wick, I mean, I try my best to call out like the top of the wick if I'm looking at a trade, but I do what I can, right? I'm all right, Steven Rosario. I'm already maxed out on profits for the day, but I'm gonna still be here to support. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, sometimes that's how it is, right? So Patrick got all the good trades today, guys, right? This guy's taking all the monies. Sometimes that's how it is with the US, you know, the AM session. A lot of times, you know, hey, well, what's going on with Trump and the volatility, guys? Right? So, but like I said, I'm going to do my best to catch some good setups here. Not going to change the process at all, right? So your black candles are red, correct? Yes. It's just preference, guys. That's it, right? You don't have, I mean, yeah, my black candles are red candles. That boy good. Trigger, hey, yeah, we're gonna try to be good today, right? I'm gonna try to catch some more trades, profitable trades, I should say. Bro is switching sides. I used to use a black background with all white candles up and down, worked just fine. Yeah, so guys, it's literally a preference thing, right? I understand that, you know, if you're watching PW, his charts are black, his background's black and all that stuff. You know, his, you know, everybody's different, right? So, but this is like, you know, what's funny about it is that everybody was like, when I was on the morning streams with PW, everybody was like, we want to see D-Money screen. Right? And now it's like, oh, can you make it darker? I told you guys it was nothing like crazy. I literally have the 14 and the 50 EMA on my chart. That's pretty much it. The rest is price action. It's okay. I'll put sunglasses on. I like it. So what did I do yesterday? Last night, I did watch some of the, you know, you had two NFL games on last night. So the Commanders lost. Man, what a crazy game at the end. So I can't believe they lost to the Browns last night. I don't know if anybody watched that game. The Bills lost last night. Craziness, right? Stilos, hello from Greece. Hey man, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. What sports do you play, D? I'm not gonna lie, I used to play a little bit of basketball back in the day, you know? Yeah, I was third string point guard. They never put me in, but I was ready though. You know what I mean? I was always ready to get in the game, but I never got in, you know? Hello from South Cali. Hello from Israel. Yeah, hey, like one thing I gotta say, to be honest, guys, is that I'm extremely humbled, like, for you guys tuning in. I really appreciate it. Are you a married man? I knew some of those questions were coming, right? I was waiting to see if I got the ice cream question today. No, I'm not married. Can D-Money touch the rim? I'm not gonna lie, probably not anymore. I'm 5'8", I'm 5'8", and I'm gonna give myself a half an inch, guys. So I'm like 5'8" and a half on a good day. But I used to be able to dunk a soccer ball, so not gonna lie on that. But that my vertical is gone, guys. I retired from dunking, you know. I'm new here. What market are we on? So I'm looking at the NASDAQ. So I trade the NASDAQ NQ. My trading strategy is basically I'm looking at how price reacts at the close of a 1 hour or 4 hour candle. And so with this being the afternoon session, the 2 o'clock candle is going to close, or I'm sorry, the 2 o'clock candle is going to open. And that's going to match with the new 4 hour candle that's opening, as well as a 1 hour candle, right? So I'm going to basically try to get an entry off the close of this current 4 hour candle. So let me go to the 4 hour chart just to kind of see how it's closing right now. So this is the 4 hour chart. And all right, so on the current 4 hour chart, we had a lot of selling pressure from last night. And you had the 6 o'clock candle, 6 a.m. this morning, right? That actually pretty much dumped down, did a retest. And then the 10 a.m. was a reversal. So if you guys remember, when I was in the morning with PW, I talked a lot about 10 o'clock. A lot of times there's some kind of reversal that happens in the market at the open of the next 4 hour candle. So we got a pretty strong reversal back to the upside, right? And the market's pushing down. Yeah, guys, please, if you don't mind, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. 10 a.m. reversal. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of times the 4 hour candle at 10 a.m. it's going to reverse and go the opposite direction, right? So, and if you notice, the more you tune in, you guys are going to start noticing kind of like patterns that I kind of point out. And I see this a lot. So this current 4-hour candle has some strength to the upside, right? Which is positive. I want to see if it closes above the 14 EMA. That's my red EMA here. If it can close above the 14 EMA, then price could want to go higher, possibly, right? So I'm going to be looking at that. You had some selling pressure overnight, and you had to push back up. So I'm going to be kind of watching to see how price reacts here. Love your patience. I'm up 3.5K today and maxed out on consistency. Still enjoy to watch. Hey, congrats, man. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. I didn't take trades this morning during the U.S. session, but there's some really good movement this morning. That's for sure, right? Is Powell still talking? Be wary of that. Is he? I mean, you do have to be cautious if he's still talking, for sure. What's the name of your EMA on TradingView indicators? It's just literally EMA. That's it. Exponential moving averages. And my settings are 14 and 50. That's it. Pine Tree Trader, what up, man? How you doing, brother? Can I have more contrast on my chart? Guys, I think everybody at this point, they know that I'm very, it's hard to kind of, I'm not like a very emotional, like, guy, right? So, guys, this is how I trade. This is my setup, right? Your chart doesn't have to look the same, but this is how I trade, right? This is what I'm comfortable with. This is what I've been sticking with, and it works for me, right? So I apologize if it's not a black background or whatever the case may be. I'm actually here to try to make money, right? So as far as taking the right trades, your settings on your chart is your settings, right? So and if you even on your phone, you can, do whatever you want on your phone, preference wise, right? By the way, I ordered the iPhone 17 Pro. It came yesterday, so I'm excited to set that up after the stream. So I got the BDH colors, right? I got an orange phone like PW. So let's go. So yeah, I'm excited to play around with the phone a little bit later. I'll set that up. Do I meditate? Yeah, a little bit, to be honest. The Frog Bullocks, can you change your settings of my chart for me? I know, right? 14 EMA, correct. 14 and the 50 EMA. That's the two EMAs that I use. And it doesn't change, doesn't matter the time frame, right? So if I go to the 5-minute chart right now, I'll switch over. It's the 14 and the 50 EMA. All right, so if you were here yesterday on the stream, you'll notice that the trade that I took for buys, one of the trades I took basically, right? Price had actually, you had an EMA cross on a 5-minute chart. You had expansion between the EMAs. There's a lot of space between the EMAs, which means that there's some bullish buying pressure. And I wanted a retest back in between the two EMAs, the 14 and the 50, and I was looking for an entry, right? So I am going to wait for the close of this candle. We got about 10 minutes left, and we'll kind of see how it plays out. LOL, new phone nightmares. Do you got scratches already on that iPhone? So I do not. I did read about that, the scratches. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that. I'll probably add the Apple Care just to be safe. And I'll be honest, I would have went with the space black phone, but they didn't offer it right for the Pro model. So didn't have a choice. It was either blue, orange, or silver/white, I guess is what they call it. What time frame do I use for entries? So I actually use either the 1 hour, 4 hour, or typically the 5-minute chart. It just depends on where the setup is. So if I see that price is closing, like so right now on the 4-hour chart, if we can get a close above this 14 EMA, I'm going to be cautious of that, and there could be a buy opportunity on the open of the next candle, right? I will want price to push down and try to retest the 14 EMA and maybe push up. It just depends on what I see, right? So all right, so let's see. D-Money never loses so far. That's not true. I take losses, right? I take losses, guys. But the thing is that, you know, it doesn't mean that you will end up red for the day, right? Maybe you take a loss on a trade, but then the next trade's a winning trade. And if you manage your risk the right way, you can still be profitable on the day. But I take losses just like everybody else. I'm not perfect, right? So D, is there a lot of intuition in your strategy, or is it all defined? So I think every trading style has a little bit of intuition, right? So in all honesty, but I am using the same strategy over and over. And if you guys have been tuning in, you see that, right? Like it's so what do I see for the rest of the day? So what I would like to see, what I'm seeing right now is we do have strength on the 4-hour chart. So buyers have clearly stepped in. So this is the 4-hour chart. You had some selling pressure for basically the previous 3 4-hour candles, right? You had a lot of selling pressure to the downside. But then on this current candle that's going to close in about 6.5 minutes, you had some buyers that stepped in. So that's positive for buyers. So I'm going to see if this momentum can hold to the upside. If we get rejected from the 14 EMA, then I might be looking for sales, right? D-Money, small caps just made new all-time highs. Get ready for expansion. Yeah, it's a possibility. Like I said, this 4-hour candle is looking encouraging for buys. I'm going to be honest, because I like this setup. I see this setup a lot where you'll get a lot of selling pressure and then you'll get upside momentum, right? So that's what I'm hoping holds. But the good thing about trading, right, we can make money either direction. So I'm going to let the price action kind of tell me what to do. How to use the EMAs together. So I'm looking for the perfect example right now that's kind of easier to see, I think, is the 5-minute chart, because you can see, like, as an example, right? You got an EMA cross and you got price that pushed up to the upside. So this was at like 10:20 this morning, and price actually, once it expanded to the upside above the EMAs and it came back down, notice to the red line, which is the 14 EMA, you had price that pretty much respected it and it pushed up. So this was buys were in play since I would have basically taken buys right before 11 o'clock today. And I could have held it, right? So it was a nice momentum day to the upside. So right now, there's nothing that kind of shows that sellers are in control at this point, unless we get back below the 14 and the 50 EMA, and that's going to start for me on the 5-minute chart, because I don't go lower than the 5-minute chart. So if we close below this like 810 level, 24,810 on the 5-minute chart, then I will be looking possibly for sells if we get momentum to the downside. But as of right now, we're holding the EMAs, right? So there's nothing for me that's telling me that sells are in play as of yet. What does the ice cream reference mean? I'm still trying to figure that out myself, to be honest. So y'all do know you can listen to him without looking at his chart. You're supposed to be looking at your own chart. Can't make this man change his chart to please y'all. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm gonna trade how I trade. You know, hopefully I add some value for you in regards to maybe possibly adding something different to your arsenal. But my chart's gonna stay how it is, right? So 5 minutes left for the new hour. Yep. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this. And also, like I said, the 4 hour, right? So, and it's looking pretty promising on this current 4 hour candle. So I want to see if we can close. So you'll hear me talk a lot about sometimes within the last like 10-15 minutes of the close of a higher time frame candle, which would either be the 1 hour, the 4 hour. A lot of times you'll get a reaction, right, going the opposite direction. So that's why I'm trying to see if this 14 EMA is going to hold on the 4 hour chart. So I want price to close above this 856 level on a 1 hour chart. If it does that, then it could potentially test this 976 level. And remember, power hour technically is 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got to keep that in mind as well, right? So D-Money, I took something and added it to mine, and average loss has been 75 and average win 235. Hey, congrats. Sir, do you only trade Lucid prop accounts? Good question. So right now, I have those accounts. I am working on some Apex evals. So I'm trying to pass those evals. And once I get those funded, I'll be also trading the PA accounts with Apex as well. Patrick loves you. I love Patrick. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Never gifted PW nothing but love to him. But this one is for you, D-Money Bag, showing some love. Year boy, good form, other side of the world. 10 p.m. here.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. That boy good. That boy good. Yeah, like I said, guys, all right, so we got about a minute left before the open of this next 4 hour candle. That's my 1 minute alert. So yeah, if you guys kind of tuned in yesterday, like PW didn't have to bring me into the BDH family, right? So I'm super appreciative of PW. D-Money, what's the last game that you watched? That was last night. I actually watched the Commanders lose. Man, this guy, the quarterback fumbled, the handoff basically at the end of the game, right? And cost them the game, so. All right, we got about 16 seconds left on this 4 hour candle. It's about to close. It's looking like it's going to hold that 855 area, which is pretty much right at the 14 EMA. All right, so we closed above that 856, 860 area. So I'm gonna go down to the 5 minute chart, and I want to kind of see how price is setting up. So all right, so on the 5 minute chart, so we got to remember, right, price on the higher time frame has to form some kind of wick. So keep that in mind. So I always try to be cautious of that. So price is gonna, you got an indecision candle, but it closed green on a 1 hour chart. This is the 1 hour chart that I'm currently on. You got a wick at the top and the bottom that's almost the same size. So price needs to hold this 856 level for me, for buys to be in play. If not, it's probably going to want to test, I would think, the 14 EMA on a 1 hour chart. So I want a little bit more of a retest because my stop preferably would be below this 854 level. And if I don't get it, right, then I have to reevaluate for the next trade, right? So I'm just kind of keeping an eye out. I want to see how this 1 hour candle and how the 4 hour candle forms. This is the 1 hour chart. Right now it's pushing up. So right now, if I took a sell, my stop would be, and if you notice what I'm doing, I'm basically going down to the 5-minute chart so I can have a lower stop, right? Because if it stops me out, I can always re-enter if it comes down lower. So I'm just kind of waiting to see how price sets up. Where did you learn that strategy from? Did you have a mentor or did you figure it out on your own? Trial and error, blowing accounts, to be honest. Going through the fire, that's one thing with trading, right? It's gonna break you. All right, so we're rejecting on the 5-minute chart, which means that we're forming a bottom wick on the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour chart that we're currently on right now, right? So I wanna see price push down. And form a bottom wick and then try to push up to retest these highs, which is at like 937 area on the 1 hour chart. So I'm waiting for price. I'm trying to see if I can get a deeper retest so that my stop can be measured out and not as wide. Have I taken any trades yet today? No, I have not. Have not taken trades today. All right, so as we can see on the 5-minute chart, you got like a triple top kind of setup, right, that has formed. So that's why I'm kind of waiting to see if we get a deeper retest. How is Lucid's rules compared to Apex? So Lucid actually has, there's no trail and drawdown, right? But you do have a daily loss limit. I think that's one of the main differences. Manuel Sanchez, what's up? All right, so what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for some kind of signal for myself that price wants to go higher from this area. So it's been kind of hanging out and ranging in this area. So I'm not gonna rush a trade because this is the open of a 1 hour candle and you got a wick down here at 858 on the previous 1 hour candle and price closed bullish. So I'm kind of waiting to see if we get a deeper retest. For buys. Where's your P&L? I haven't taken a trade yet. DJT Futures, D-Money, you're a solid dude. Enjoy the stream. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. I'm just being me, right? Got to be yourself. Do I only use the 1 hour chart? No, I use 4 hour and 5 minute chart. I'm a price action trader, right? So I just basically combine the EMAs and I use wicks to kind of, because I feel that wicks tell a story. All right, so on the current 5 minute chart, you got some selling pressure that's happening, but are we gonna hold this bullish pin bar at 858? That's the question, right? That's my line in the sand, so to speak, as far as buyers being in control, like short term. So that's what I'm looking at. If we get a close back above the 14 EMA on the 5 minute chart, I would be inclined to take a buy, and my stop loss would probably be this 857 area. So, but there's still 3 minutes left, so that's why I'm being patient. In Kenya, it's 9:06 p.m. Second hour candle of the 4 hour candle, but I'm watching your analysis, bro. Yeah, you just gotta kind of match up, you know, your time, you know, for whatever time you're trading, right? Like right now, we've been kind of ranging. We've been stuck in this range for a little bit. Somebody said they're short from 24,923. Hey, hey, you're in profit, right? So, but remember, for me, the higher time frame, the 1 hour chart closed green. So buys for me are in play. It's above the 14 and the 50 EMA. I mean, you could very well get a deeper retest back down. That could very well happen. But that's why you have a stop loss in place. And yes, so in the 4 hour chart, you could have a stronger retest down. So you do have to be cautious in this area because, you know, the bottom of this 4 hour candle is 556. So that's why my trades have to have a controlled stop. But I'm going to let price I want price to show me its hand before I just jump into a trade, right? So that's why I'm always patient. Good to see you here. Good things happen to good people, and you're one of them. Hey, I appreciate that. Gonna make me cry on the stream. If I cry, you know, PW told me if I cry, I'm gonna get fired, guys. So I gotta keep the tears in. I gotta cry off stream. I'm just kidding. JK. All right, so yeah, we're just kind of hanging around in this area. I want to see if we can close above this 898 area, which is like the top of the 5 minute chart, 14 EMA. 200 points up from CPI dip. I think wasn't CPI pushed back until next week? It's all good. The money you may have your own stream leading up to the future. So, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean there, but yeah, I'm happy to be here. So, all right. So, if this candle on the 5 minute chart, we're pushing. All right, I'm gonna take a buy, guys. My stop is gonna be below. It's gonna be a small controlled stop, 880. If it stops me out, that's fine. I'll re-enter on a retest. And it might very well stop me out on this trade because it didn't, you know, I did enter kind of early. I didn't wait for the candle to close. $878 is my stop. If it stops me out, that's fine. I'll re-enter on a retest. My take profit is possibly 945. It just depends on how I see the price action forming. But I need price above the 14 EMA, right? It needs to start pushing. I want to see it start pushing. Charts look nice and clear today, bro. Hey, yeah, I got coached by Ginger. She wrote me up, guys. So she had a write-up waiting for me when I walked in. So I'm like, got to get better, right? All right, I want to see if we can at least challenge this upper area, like 927, without stalling. All right, so I'm moving my stop. It's going to be in profit either way. $898, I see that. All right, if it starts to kind of stall here, I'm going to close. Only because it's rejected here in the past, right? All right.
Order filled.
So I closed out because it's starting to pull back a little bit. We'll take it, right? All right. So, and the reason why I closed that trade, guys, is because we haven't had a close yet on a 5-minute chart above the 5-minute, the 14 EMA, right? This current candle needs to close above the 14 EMA. We haven't had a candle yet that closed above it, right? And now it's starting to pull back. So you have to kind of be cautious of that. Yeah, so yeah, guys. Yeah, that was copy trading. So not a huge trade, up about $400 across the 4 accounts for the first trade, right? So more to come. All right, so we got to close above. I'm going to re-enter buys. Trying to see if we can get a push higher. My stop is going to be 877. And I want to see if we can get some momentum to the upside. So the thought process on this, right, is that price close above the 14 EMA on a higher time frame. So ideally we will want to push higher. Doesn't mean it's going to happen now. You might get a deeper retest, but that's why you got to control stop loss. All right, every trade's not going to work. So I want to see some momentum, right, to the upside. I would like to see some momentum. It closed above the 14 EMA on a 5-minute chart. I would like to see buyers step in and take us higher. Change your stop, mate. No, so I'm going to keep it where it is because if it gets a deeper retest, I can always re-enter, right? But I can have I need to control my stop. Because I have to keep in mind that the higher time frame could want a deeper retest before pushing higher. So that's the thought process. So if it stops me out, that's fine. I can always re-enter lower, but I need to control the risk. Come on, baby. Come on, Cletus. Come on, Cletus. Come on, Cletus. PW told me I'm getting fired if I don't have back-to-back winning trades, guys. No pressure. I'm just kidding, guys. So yeah, like I said on this trade, the thought process is that we close above the 14 EMA on the higher time frame. So I'm waiting to see a push higher. Will we get it? I mean, nothing's guaranteed. It's trading, but I got to control stop, right? So I want to see price challenge these highs like this 933 level, 940 level. Ideally. Walking over, limping back. Good to see you here. Good things happen to good people. Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I'm not risking $800 per trade. So my stop is 877. So no, it's not $800. And if I don't like the price action here, like if it starts rejecting below, like I want to see some expansion. If I can't get it, I might even close it early and wait for a re-entry. It just depends. Because it couldn't put in a higher high, right? So I'm on a 5-minute chart. So that's what I'm waiting. I want an explosion to the upside, but might not get it. Let's see. So I'm always trying to think like where would sellers be trapped? So, and I'm just going kind of off the higher time frame, but you got to be kind of careful because of the, you could, price could want a higher retest. So if I go real quick to the 4-hour chart, you do have a wow, right? As far as how far price can retest down. So that's in the back of my mind. So when somebody was saying that my stop needs to be, I guess, wider, I'm not going to give it too much room, because if it rejects here, I'm going to close it and I can always re-enter. And it's not giving me what I want to see right now, right? It's not respecting the 14 EMA, so I'm probably going to close. If we can't, let's see. Let me kind of move this a little bit. Yeah, so it's looking like they want lower, right? So I'll probably be stopped out on this trade, which is fine. So let's see. Let's go to the 15-minute chart, see where we're at. So basically, right, if it can't hold this area, I'm going to be stopped, which is fine. I have to look for a re-entry. So I wanted a retest of the highs up here, like this 940, 943 level, but if it stalls out, that's fine. All right, somebody said higher time frame is gonna fall. Yeah, it could very well. Like, remember, I'm cautious of the 4-hour chart, that it could want a higher retest. That's why my stop is controlled, right? So first trade was a winning trade. This trade, we'll see what happens, right? Just tuned in. Sup, D-Money? That boy good. Hey, what's up, man? All right, let's see what happens here, right? Somebody said my order's wrong. Let's double check. So up here, it's gonna be a sell. And I'm just kind of watching it because I can manually close it if I don't like the price action. So sometimes price kind of stalls like this because of the higher time frame, right? So that's why it's important to kind of know what's going on the higher time frame. So the 1 hour chart, like we had a retest and a push, a retest to the downside and a push up. So I'm trying to catch the expansion back up to the upside. Will I get it? We'll see. All right, so let's go back to the 5-minute chart. Let's see where we're at. All right, so if we break this like 885 area, I'm gonna be out because it's rejecting again, and I'll have to wait for a deeper retest. And a lot of times what they do is, you know, you got about 30 minutes left for this candle, and a lot of times power hour, right? Power hour will be the reversal, so that could be very possible too, right? Right now we're kind of chopping around. Choppy, choppy, yep. Which happens sometimes after big moves. You got to expect that in the afternoon session. If the big move happens sometimes in the AM, sometimes it's chop in the afternoon, right? Not much you can do about that. I want to see like a big move to this 944. Let's go, let's go, let's go. In Q, don't do it to me, baby. George, what up, D? Keep killing it, bro. You're living the dream. Hey, literally I am, man. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate you guys tuning in as well, so. You could be on any other live stream, but you're here with D-Money. Let's go. Yeah, my take profit is at 44. I wanted to retest up here. I want to see how it reacts. Maybe even like 935 if it starts, you know, I want to see a push here though. I feel like there's some strength to the upside, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. In Q. All right, nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice. Let's go, let's go. All right, if it stalls, I'll probably close here because it rejected the last time, which is fine. But I want to see a pump through here. I'm trying to see if we can retest these highs. Let's go. All right.
Order filled.
We'll take it. All right, so let's see where we're at. About $1,200. We'll take it, right? So why did I close? Because remember, guys, so price, you can hold for as long as you want, but price has failed to put in a higher high past this 935 level, and it could do it right now. But like the name of the game is, I'm not greedy, guys. Right? So I'm gonna take those wins add up. $1,200 is $1,200, and it's probably gonna push now that I closed it. But we got the money bucket in the house. The market makers were trying to hold me, chat. They were trying to hold me back. Let's go. Yeah, you got to take what you can get, guys. Like, I'm not, because after a big move like this, I'm gonna be content and basically take the win, right? So I do feel that, and remember, I'm also cautious that technically you could have a big move coming between 3 o'clock Eastern and 4. So we've been kind of stuck in this range. So I just took the profit, right? That boy good. Took profit early. So NASDAQ. So yeah, like it could, I do feel that it wants to retest the previous high. But I'm also, and it's probably going to do it now. But I'm almost better at this point because it's ranging in this range that I'm almost better taking a profit. And if it breaks out of this range, I can also play it if it comes back and does a retest, right? So you got to keep that in mind. Up 525 on 2 legend accounts and 265 on funding ticks. Tanner, congrats. I think I saw on Twitter you got a payout, right? Bro, please stream all sessions. Yeah, I wish, right? Thanks, D-Money, I made 200. Listen, or sorry, 2,000. VC, thanks, D-Money, I made 2,000. Thanks, Ginger. Nice. All right, so now you guys can kind of see what I'm saying, right? You see how we're stalling it in this area? Bro, you trading Friday? Yes, I'm trading Friday. Correct. How was my first day? I think it went pretty well, right? Getting better every day. So, yes, I see the stalling. What do I do now, friend? So that's, listen, you got to decide when you're going to take profit. Knock. D-Money, did you trade the open? No, I did not trade the open today. I wish I would have traded it. Yeah, over 2,000 watching. Yeah, guys, like, listen, I can't say it enough. I am super thankful, and it's like a humbling thing for me that I'm able to do my dream job, right? So I don't take this for granted. So if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're here every day. We are here every day for Power Hour. George just took a 1K payout today. Let's go. Hey, congrats. Nothing like that payout, man. Right? It basically confirms that you're on the right track, and it's nothing like paying yourself. But all right, so somebody was like, why did I close the trade, right? So look at what's happening right now. This current 5-minute candle is stalling. So all right, so if I switch to, let me switch here. 1 second. Let me switch to the 1 hour and take this screen. All right, so this is the 1 hour chart. So we're kind of struggling here because you had the previous 1 hour candle that the high was about 939. So if you remember, I was kind of saying like I wanted to see if price can push above that 940 level, and it was having some trouble. So that's why I closed the trade, right? Doesn't mean that it won't go higher. I'm not saying that at all, but hey, I'll take $1,200 up on the day before 3 o'clock. I'll take it. But the stalling in price goes both ways. It does. But you have to be, sometimes there's nothing wrong with taking profit and re-entering if you see that the bulls are taking back over, right? Right now, price is kind of stalling. D-Money showing great discipline with a time stop out, next level on that. So I'm just trying to be a better trader every day, man, honestly. Right? So, and I've learned, I know myself, right? Every trader has to learn them, you know, themselves as far as triggers and, you know, I've been greedy multiple times and it's burned me. So I don't have any shame in taking profit, guys. I don't have any shame in it. Not every trade's going to be a home run trade. You have to be content with that. But if you kind of notice now on the lower time frame, price is kind of stalling out. So it's still stuck in this range. So what I would anticipate is that the 3 o'clock candle, you know, that 3 to 4 o'clock 1 hour candle, it's going to give us either, you know, we're going to possibly break out of this range. So it's going to be interesting to see. 21 EMA on the 5-minute chart is supporting really good. I don't use the 21 EMA. There's nothing wrong with using the 21 EMA. So whatever works for you, right? Did you already order a Lamborghini? No, I did not. Can you explain, I think you wanted to put, can you explain your model? Yeah, so I'm actually trading. So right now, this is the current 1 hour candle. And see how we're starting to reject down? So that's why I was a little hesitant on holding, right? I took the profit. I took the trade, took the profit, right? So, all right. Price, and there's different kind of traders. So you got breakout traders. Breakout traders will be looking for a price to put in a new high, probably above this 1 hour high of 937, and then maybe they would enter. So this current 1 hour candle was not able so far to put in a higher high, right? Compared to this 1 p.m. candle. So that 939 to 940 area is an area where price is it's not able to kind of get above that area, right? So we're kind of stuck in a range on this current 1 hour chart. You got a wick at the top and the bottom of it. So there's some indecision, you know, going on, like as far as what's going to happen. So I'm cautious on that. So I wanted a deeper retest right at the open. I would have loved like a retest down to like 866, 865. And I could have entered, and then my stop would have been below the 50 EMA at like the 850, like 850 to 855 level. And that was just anticipating that price was going to come down, do a retest of this previous hour candle's wick, and then push up to the upside. But we didn't get that deep of a retest. So I was mindful of that when I took the trade, and that's why I took the profit off the table. What was my biggest trading challenge before becoming profitable? To be honest, looking at other traders on social media posting big profits and wondering why it was taking time to get there, right? So you're on your own timetable. Everybody has their own timetable as far as, you know, when you're going to reach that step. What would be your dream car? So the 4-door electric Porsche. I know you guys might laugh at me about that because it's an electric car, but to Tycon 4S. White. Yes, correct. Love D-Money, humble mindset. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I'll never sugarcoat it with you guys. I'm going to share the ups and downs and stuff that I've struggled with, hopefully to help somebody. I've tried pretty much, you know, like I said, I used to look at social media and it's frustrating because you're like, man, like, I want my payout, right? Like I'm like putting in the work, putting in the effort, and what also helped me a lot was moving to the higher time frame. So adding like the 1 hour and 4 hour chart. Do I have a position right now? No, I do not have a position right now. I took 2 trades. I'm up $1,200 on the day so far. Price is kind of stuck in a range, right? So if you look at the current, so if we go to the 5-minute chart, we have not broken out of this range. So I've taken 2 trades so far. Do I trade news? So I would probably advise not trading the news. So most people blow their accounts trading the news. So, but to each his own. I want the Lambo Urus. I agree. So that's like, but the Urus, you know, that's like another step above, I feel like, the electric Porsche. So yeah, that's next up on the list after the Porsche. All right, so 5-minute chart. Will this be a breakdown, or are we gonna hold this 858 level, right? It's still kind of holding, but it's stuck in this range. So this is like a range. So we're stuck between this 947 and 858 range. Like literally, like we pretty much since like 1250, we've kind of been stuck in this range. So that's why you have to be kind of mindful of it. Yo, D-Money, loving what you do, brother. Really appreciate it, man. Hey, I'm happy to be here. So, can you show us what you mean by you added, looking at the higher time frame? Can you show some examples, please? Yeah. So if you look at the 1 hour chart, so this is the current 1 hour chart. So if I'm looking for entries, the reason why I was looking for buys is because price currently on the 1 hour chart, it's above the 14 and the 50 EMA. So this candle, the 1 o'clock candle, you had a bottom wick and it did a retest of the 50 EMA and it closed above it closed back above it, right? Bullish as a green candle. So I took buys because I saw a retest of this current 1 hour candle to the downside, and then just anticipating that there was going to be some kind of upper wick that forms trying to challenge new highs. And price right now, I can kind of see that it's starting to, we're ranging again, right? We're kind of like right back in this area. So if you tune in, continue to tune in, and you'll see me kind of go through the strategy live. Hey, Edgar. Hey, I appreciate it, man. You're correct. D-Money living the promise. Isaiah 60:22. Well deserved. Hey, I appreciate it, man. What does EMA mean? Exponential moving average. So if you go to Trading View and you just punch in EMA, it should pop up, right? These are, so my red and blue line, those are moving averages. $1 hour time frame, double inside bar. All right, so let's go to the 1 hour chart. Yeah, you're correct, right? So that could be considered to some people consolidation, and you can see that on a lower time frame, right? That's what's happening on a 5-minute chart. We're kind of consolidating. We're stuck in a range. Why no VWAP? Everybody trades differently. That's why, right? So I don't knock the VWAP. You can make money either, you know, with the VWAP. There's a ton of people that use it. I just try to keep my charts as clean as possible. That's all. Because I'll be honest, I did trade the VWAP. I used to have it on my chart, but I would get too focused on it. And I would start taking trades. Oh, price is at the VWAP, so it's gonna push back up, or prices, you know, and that didn't work out for me. So you got to stick to what works for you. All right, so we got about 14 minutes left on this current. We got about 14 minutes left on this current 1 hour candle, and that's going to be officially the start of power hours. So I'm interested to see if we can break out of this range that we've been kind of holding. All right, so I mean, look how far we are from it now. What you gonna do with it? It's not a must-have, but price reacts there when it's close to it. Yeah, I agree, right? So nothing in trading is the be all 1,000% certainty, right? KJ Fencing, that pause after the EMA question was what PW meant when he said you will get jaded. I mean, I do answer that question a lot, pretty much every day, right? As far as the EMAs. All right, so we're trying to hold this range. Would you be looking for shorts soon? As of right now, no. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is the last 12, 13 minutes of the current 1 hour candle. A lot of times we get movement at the end of a candle. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some movement out of this range. Because it's like it's building, right? Something's gonna happen. We know that for sure, right? Because we've been stuck in this range since like 1250. So just kind of waiting to see if we can get a breakout to the upside or if we get a break to the downside. I'm just waiting, right? Because price is ranging. We took 2 trades already, so I'm not gonna force anything. So somebody said Trump is speaking live. Well, that would probably explain why there is some consolidation right now. How do I know PW? I sent an email to Ginger's email, and the rest is history, right? So typically within the last, all right, so we're coming up on the last 10 minutes of this 1 hour candle. So I'm want to see if we're able to break out of this range. Robert Short, D-Money. That boy good. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, typically after a big move, like we had a really big move already at the open. You had a sell-off overnight, and then you had a push to the upside. So I mean, you're talking. Let's do this real quick, right? So from the 9:30 open, you had a sell-off, and price is at the high, it's already retraced 525 points. So that's why there's some retracement, right? So you have to kind of know that. And so that's why I'm not going to force a trade or hold extremely long on some of these trades, because the market already expanded back to the upside 500 points, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. But it needs to break out of this range, obviously, to continue to go higher. And right now it's kind of stuck. So somebody said it went 400 points today. Well, I mean, I just measured it from the low. So you're probably looking at, I imagine you're probably looking at the overall, but I'm measuring it from the low at 945. So the low of the 945 candle, that 421 area, to the high, it's over 500 points. Are you married, bro? Have any kids? So I do have a daughter. She's gonna turn 2 next month. First kid, so super proud of her. And you know, she's trying to learn how to talk. She's saying a few words, right? Poppy and mommy and like all of that stuff. And yeah, so definitely a blessing. Is she trading yet? No, I know, right? But I mean, I do plan to obviously teach her like how to trade. If she decides to do that, then that's fine. If she doesn't, then you know, that's fine as well. Not gonna force it on her. But Mo Shabley having my second boy tomorrow. Hey, congrats. Miss Free 84, she'll be saying BD8 soon. That's funny. D-Money, have you taken any trades? Yes, ton. I took two buys actually. 2 buys. I'm up 1,200 on the day so far. Price is stuck in this range, right? There's not much else going on, right? So, but yeah, I took 2 trades, up 1,200. D-Money, I need your social security number, address, phone number, date of birth, LOL, since everyone is asking. Haha. I know, right? All right, so somebody's saying that, Kelly's saying that Trump is done talking. All right, so that kind of matches up with the close of this current 1-hour candle. We got about 5 minutes and a half left on the current 1-hour candle. So, but we do have a wick at the top and the bottom. We failed to put in a higher high so far, but a lot can happen in the last 5 minutes. What's my strategy on intraday drawdown on a new account? So I would say that I'm cautious of the position size. So, you know, it depends on the account size, right? So if you got a 25K account or a 50K account, my sizing is going to be different than a 150K account for sure. So, but typically for me, I trade anywhere between 1 and 2 contracts. Javier Music, D-Money, thank you, and Ginger for all that you do. Hey, thank you for being here. What's my take on fair value gaps? I don't have a... Your personal preference for trading is your personal preference. That's my take, right? So... Did you ever trade micros or always minis? I tried micros, but I feel like for me, I trade better when I'm trading minis. So I stick to minis. All right, so nothing has happened, right? We're still kind of stuck in this range. Did I make money? Did I make money today? Yes, I took 2 trades. I'm up $1,200. Rob the trader. I'm up 2.9K for the day. Nice. What do you say people? What do you say to people when they say that you're trading? When they say that trading is gambling? So trading is you're taking. You could lose on a trade. So when people say that trading is gambling, it's I'm basically trying to take the most educated risk that I can take. And I want to have the odds stacked in my favor as much as possible, right? So that's why if I'm using a 14 and a 50 EMA, I'm going to take the same trade over and over. Is it going to work 100% of the time? Absolutely not. Am I going to lose trades? Absolutely yes. But if I take the same trade over and over the course of time, you know, just based off of me taking the same trade, I know that I'm going to be profitable. JL, did you trade during the open today? No, I did not. I wish. Pretty good movement today, right? All right, so we got a couple minutes left. We're getting ready for Power Hour officially at 3 o'clock. We're going to see if we can get a break out of this range that we've been stuck in since 12:30, 12:45. If so, then I'll take another trade. But right now, I mean, we're literally going nowhere, right? We're going sideways. Price is going sideways. How would I have traded the open? I would have used the 5-minute ORB. All right, so we'll go over that real quick as we wait for this. So typically what I do, just as an example, so this is the 5-minute chart and it's simple, right? So if you notice, price closed with momentum on the 5-minute chart. Let me kind of blow this up a little bit. Price closed with momentum below the EMAs. So I would have been going short. And so on the close of this 5-minute candle. So when price closed below the low of the 9:30 open, I would have got short. My stop would have been back in between the 14 EMA. So that 580 level would have been my stop. Because if price got back in between the 14 EMA and the 50 EMA, I would have been out of the trade. So that was a pretty clean setup for the 5-minute ORB sell today. Would I have waited for a retest? So no, because my stop was only 20 points, not even 20 points. So I would have entered right away, because what's been happening, and I know if you guys tuned in last week, in the morning time, I kind of talked about that, is that if price closes with momentum below both EMAs at the open, typically it trends for the day, or at least gives you a pretty decent sized move, and that's what happened. So my stop would have been back, you know, like that 580 level. 5-minute ORB and not 15, correct. So, all right, so we have the open of the 3 o'clock candle. All right, so price closed as a doji. This is the 1-hour chart. So price closed as a doji. Right, some indecision is pushing up. No wick on the bottom. So I would have liked to see some kind of push down, but it's pushing straight up, right? So that's the only issue I see with it. But that indecision candle could technically match with Trump speaking. So now that he's done, if he's done speaking, and now you got the 3 o'clock officially power hour candle. So we could get some expansion here to the upside. So I'm going to be watching. Here's a 5-minute chart. Can we put in a higher high above this 948 level? No wick on the current 5-minute candle to the downside. It's a straight up push. J trades could pop up to stop out shorts, then dump. You're correct, right? It could go either way. So I like to wait at least for the first 5-minute candle to close. Maybe even the first, 2 5-minute candles, just to see if price is gonna pick a direction. Also, one of the things that I look at, if you look at the 1-hour chart, like I said, we have no bottom wick on the current 1-hour candle. No bottom wick, so there hasn't been a retest at all. So price is pretty much shot straight up. So I would have liked to seen some kind of bottom wick put in, testing the low of this previous 1-hour candle and then pushing up, preferably. But you don't always get what you want. So I'm just gonna be watching to see how price kind of reacts from here. Gar, I'm really happy for you, D-Money. Hey, I'm happy as well. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. D-Money, look at the daily candle. Yeah, so in the daily candle, you got some, all right, you got the previous day's candle obviously was bullish. This candle's not so hot. You did close above the 14 EMA yesterday. Justin trades, bro, I've been long for over an hour and we've gone nowhere. Yeah, that's why I took the profit, right? That's why, people were questioning why I took profit, because I saw the range. We couldn't break out of that range, so that's why I took the profit. Sometimes it's like that. D-Money, say hello to Brazil. Hello, Carlos, let's go. All right, so somebody put 25K by 350. It's possible. Hello from Italy. Greetings from Holland. Hello from India. Like I'm still like shocked, guys, like as far as like how many viewers from like all over the world like tune into the stream. So I love you. Thank you. I love you. Do you ever scale in more contracts once you're in a winning trade? Sometimes, but I'll be honest, not a lot. I will trail my stop. So I'll move the stop deeper in profit. Like you kind of saw that on I think maybe the first trade. I kind of trailed the stop up just to kind of lock it in a little bit to make sure, because I didn't like how price is kind of stalling in this area. And sometimes that happens after you get big movement in the afternoon session. And you know what's funny? Sometimes it'll stall like this, and then what'll happen at the open at 6 o'clock Eastern time, you'll get a big move, right? A big gap up or a big gap down. So that's very possible as well. Sound engineering. Can you please change your screen theme color to black? Unfortunately, that's a negative. That's a no. What time does the D-Money show start? 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. What do I have against black? That's a funny question. Nothing at all. All right, so what I'm waiting for, I'm trying to see if we can get out of this range because we've been stuck. in this range, right? Literally going nowhere. So any plans for Asia session at the BDH? I think PW wants to take over, right? So he wants to control and take over every session. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has somebody for Asia or London session. I wouldn't be surprised at all, right? So it's the BDH takeover. All right, so we're trying to get above this range. That 947 is the high at like 1250 that we couldn't get above. And it looks like, I mean, maybe they want to push it. We're going to see. All right, so let's check out current 1 hour candle. The only thing I don't like is that we have no bottom wick retest. It's like a push straight up. I would have liked some kind of retest to the downside first, just to kind of trap sellers, and then expand price higher, but we didn't get that. But you don't always get it. D-Money, greetings from Ireland. All the best. Keep it up. Great work. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Buyers are going to get trapped. Yeah, it's possible because we've been kind of hanging out in this area. Something's going to happen, right? I mean, we could clearly see that. Either buyers are going to get trapped or sellers are going to get trapped. One of the two, right? So I'm just kind of waiting to see if price picks a direction. I took 2 trades basically in this range already. So I'm not gonna be greedy and try to force trades as we're stuck in the range. I already took 2 trades, so. Do I date white chicks? Guys, I don't discriminate. I've dated white chicks. Yes, I don't discriminate. D-Money doesn't discriminate, guys. All right, so here's the rejection again. Did PW give me a car? Oh, man. I know, right? So yeah, this is a range session as of right now, right? Price has kind of been stuck in this range, so not much you can do about it. Yesterday we had some pretty good. I took 2 trades yesterday as well. And actually, I took 2 buys yesterday. So I took 2 buys yesterday, 2 buys today. So, but yeah, it's definitely ranging today. So I'm not forcing anything else. All right, so 4-hour chart. Current 4-hour chart. Price closed above the 14 EMA. So in my opinion, buyers have some strength, but you have to be cautious because if we break this 860 area, there could be some more downside in play coming down to retest this bottom area at like 600. If we hold the 14 EMA, then I would imagine, or I would expect price to try to challenge at least this top wick at that 947 area, but it's been stalling a lot, right? So, I mean, it's literally just barcode action right now. What am I looking for after we get out of this range? So if it breaks to the upside, then I will be looking to join the party on a retest for buys. If it drops to the downside, then possibly sells. But I'll be honest, guys, I don't know if we're going to get that or not because it's how price is reacting. So it's literally going nowhere. It's stuck. Why only 2 trades with the range once you recognize it's a range? So because I'm always cautious of the candles closing, the higher time frame candles closing. So remember, we had a close of the 1 hour candle at 3 o'clock. We had an open of the 4 hour candle as well. So if you kind of put your cursor on the 5-minute chart at the top of this like current range that we've been kind of stuck in is 922. The bottom of it's been like 891. So you're playing with the 20 to 30 point range. So I'm not sure how many trades you want to take, you know, off of that range. That's not a huge range to play around with. I took 2 trades, guys. So all right, somebody put D-Money bull flag forming on the 5-minute chart. So as long as price stays above the 14 EMA, then yes, you could get some expansion, but as a little bit of a tough area right now though. Yeah, D-Money is teaching you all patience. Yeah, guys, sometimes like I know this is a live stream, and trust me, I would love to take more trades, but if you look at this price action right now, like there's not much here to work with, right? So I mean, I took 2 trades already. There's not much in this kind of market right now. When you get in off the 5-minute chart, what do you look for to tell you how far you want to see a pullback for entry? All right, so that's a good question. So we are in a range market right now. So, but I'm looking at the previous lows and I'm trying to get in. So if I'm looking for buys, I want price to basically retest the 14 EMA, push up, close above it, and then I would probably enter. My stop will be below the lows. Like, right? So that's what I'm kind of looking at. But just keep in mind that we look at the wicks. I mean, and this is what I'm kind of talking about, right? Look at the wicks. Look at the wicks look at the wicks on the top of the candles and look at the wicks on the bottom of the candles right now. This is like nasty, like price action. All right, so somebody said 1 hour wick coming. Yeah, so you're getting rejection on the 1 hour candle currently to the downside. And the previous 1 hour candle did not close green. So this is some interesting price action right now. Money, hello from South Georgia. What's up? Hey D, out of each month, how many A setups you think happen within the month? I'm not sure, to be honest. Like I don't count. I just go by every day. It's the same strategy. All right, so this is back on the 5-minute chart. You got some weakness, right? You got long wicks at the top. Like, I don't see anything right now. I don't see a reason to take a trade right now, unfortunately. loads of down pressure, I think, like 24,800. Yeah, that's possible. We could range right now until the end of the session. I hate to say that, guys, but I don't see a setup right now that I like just based off the ranging, so I'm not going to force a trade. If you have not hit the like button, please hit that like. Chop City. Yeah, I agree. Do you start from the 4-hour down or daily down? So yeah, every day what I do typically is I map out the previous daily's high and low. So that's, and I didn't map it out today just because of the price action, but if you go here and you map it basically, right, you're going to be pretty close to it. So that way when I go down to the lower time frames, it's actually there. Just so you have an idea, so you kind of know. And then I'll go down to the 4-hour, but I don't map it out. I basically just kind of let price dictate. But I do map out the previous candle, previous daily candles high and low. Yes. Hi, D-Money. Nice to see you. What is the market doing? Right now, it's not doing anything, to be honest. It's like watching paint dry. So it's stuck in a range. It's been in the same range since like 1250. The high of the range is 948. And the low of it's 857. But for the last almost 2 hours, we've been stuck in a like 30, 35 point range. So on days like this, sometimes it's good to kind of watch price action and see how candles form. And like, you know, and that's what I typically do like on range days. Like I said, I was able to catch two trades. I'm not disappointed at all, but it's just that, you know, it's chop city. $14 EMA, correct. 14 and 50 EMA. D-Money, can you do a price action dance or something like a rain dance? Getting bored. Yeah, I know, right? So I did do the money bucket dance. Maybe you missed that earlier on that second trade, right? When you took profit. Market makers were trying to hold me back. When am I bringing Jerome? You got to stay tuned for that, right? I can't spill all the beans, guys. Like, right? So Jerome is definitely going to be making an appearance. There's going to be some other appearances. So, and I want to make power. I want this obviously to be the best power hour out there streaming. So, and doing something different that nobody's really doing, right? So that's the thought process behind it. Keeping it light at the same time. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, Jerome's definitely going to be in the house. Good time for your 5 push-ups. Yeah, I'm actually going to go to the, believe it or not, don't laugh at me, guys, but I'm actually going to, I was telling Ginger before the stream that I'm probably gonna be going to the gym tonight. So trying to get my gym workout on. Trading power hour is so different than the morning. Yes. Like some days you're gonna get big moves in the afternoon. Maybe price stalls in the morning or consolidates, and then you'll get a big move in the afternoon. And sometimes you get a big move overnight in the morning session, and then the afternoon it's gonna be a little slow, right? So D-Money, I'm up $1,800 on Take Profit Trader thanks to your 1 hour strategy. Hey, you did all the work, man, right? You did all the work. Around sound, I don't trade in the afternoon. I'm here to watch you. Hey, I appreciate that, right? I wish there was some better price action, but as you guys can see right now, we are stuck in a range that we've been stuck in for a while. John Simba got funded due to your 1 hour and 4 hour strategy. Hey, that's good to hear, man. I'm glad that you're got your funded account. Get that payout. That's what it's all about, right? NASDAQ, don't trade it, D-Money. Yeah, you're right. I'm not convinced on this price action. I'll put it like that. D-Money, so excited for this new venture for you. I have followed and learned from Patrick about 2 years now. I'm looking forward to learning from your experience. Thanks. I also follow Patrick. I've been watching Patrick for over 2 years myself. So he was actually the first streamer that I started watching, like getting into futures. $10 years? Yeah, I've been trading over 10 years, but obviously not futures. Like I traded stocks, penny stocks, stock options, Forex. Yeah, I see it trying to push a little. All right, so let's check out the... Yeah, we're built. So this is the 15-minute chart, and we're putting in some higher lows. Why nobody trade penny stocks anymore? Probably because a lot of people lost money. It's like hard, right? Like you have to time that the right way. Dean Bishop, D-Money, I've been taking a drink every time somebody asks you to change your chart. Now I can't go to work. Call out. Don't go. Take a trade. Why did I stop trading Forex? Because there was a lot of shady stuff going on with Forex. So the brokers that I was trading on, you go to log in on the site one day and it says that we are no longer providing services to clients out of the blue, right? All right, so let's see how we're shaping up. All right, so are we gonna get a break above this 930 level? That's the question, because we haven't been able to break it. So I'm curious to see what happens here. Daily candle looking crazy. Yeah, and that's why, guys, like, all right, so look at this. Look at the daily candle right now. Look at the size of the wick on the bottom of it. Now, what's interesting, I'll be honest, what'll be interesting if this current daily candle closes as a bullish pin bar. That would be pretty crazy because we are above the 14 EMA on the daily chart. But the reason why, like, if you start kind of looking at price on a higher time frame and like trying to reference it, we're kind of battling right now. So the 4-hour chart, we're starting to get a little bit of push back up to the upside. Owanda, the real only legit broker. Yeah, they are. You're correct on that. But the problem with them is that you don't have the leverage. You know, you got to put a lot more capital in your account. And that's why a lot of these brokers that were not US based, they were the play, right? Because you could get a lot more leverage. I'm using Tradevate. Tradevate is so I'm sure you guys probably saw PW's video. Tradevate actually partnered with the BDH, so that's, and I've always used Tradevate for a trade copy. Oh, we're back inside the range. Not surprised. I've been trading for 2 years and I'm finally making progress, but I have not traded the prop firms. Which prop firm is beneficial in terms to start? So that's a preference thing. So I think that as a new trader, if you are just starting to get into the space, Apex is always popular. Lucid is actually starting to make waves, and the reason why I say that is because if you think about it, right, so the daily loss limit, yes, you have, but it's not trailing drawdown, so kind of keep that in mind. Yes, correct. Apex is cheap, correct, right? So the evals are actually, especially when they go 80-90% off, just starting out, if you're just starting out. But yeah, so look, right? We're right back in the range. And we're right back down. Don Bernard, there's no power hour. There's no power in this hour. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So, and sometimes it's like that, right? I mean, we got to be honest. Sometimes it's, you know, it's not going to give you great setups every power hour. But what I would say is it's, you know, we'll definitely go over setups, price action, how I use the EMAs. Jerome will be here, right? Some other characters will be here, stuff like that to make it fun. So, but not every day is going to be a trading day, to be honest. Oh no, I'm good. Thanks. I appreciate it. Still learning from you though. Hey, I'm not the best trader out there, guys. I just basically share my experiences and what has worked for me, and I think people gravitate to that. So I've learned by going through the fire, and that's pretty much in trading. That's the only way that you're gonna learn, right? And it's harsh, but you learn from taking losses. You learn from blowing accounts. You learn from entering trades too early and not measuring out your stop loss. And I started to realize, and I think I kind of mentioned that on previous streams, for me, if I'm looking for a short, a lot of times I would be shorting and not realizing that, okay, price has already dropped 60, 70, 80 points, and I'm trying to short, and it's the close of a 1 hour candle as an example, and price is starting to basically do a retest back to the upside, and I got in at the lows basically, right? So I did that so many times, and it's finally started to click that I need to look at the higher time frame. And that's how I kind of got into the higher time frame trading. Five-minute engulfing both on ES and NQ. Yeah, I see that. Will we break down though? That's the question, right? So I mean, we're in the last 30 minutes before power hour is over, and this is the 30-minute chart. But what I would want to see for sales is I would want to see price actually below this 50 EMA. So price needs to be below the 50 EMA for me to be looking for. So let's go to the 5-minute chart. So since we've been kind of stuck in this range, like price needs to be below the 50 EMA, which is this 858 level, with some momentum to the downside for me to want to get short. Right now, there's really not, we're stuck in a range, right? So I'm not looking for shorts either, because every time we pretty much tap down in this area, we bounce right back up as of right now. So could it break? Absolutely. But look how long it's taking, right? I mean, it's been current 1 hour candle, you're retesting the lows. D-Money, we missed you this morning. Can you guys do the London session? What had happened was, unfortunately, yeah, I'll be sleeping for the London session. So PW's doing his normal stream. I know he caught a banger trade over 100 points this morning at the open. And then I'm doing power hour. So I'm doing basically 1:30 to 4, which is the open of the at 2 o'clock Eastern. That's the open of the 4 hour candle. So I'm trying to see if I can catch a trade off that, and then obviously power hour as well. So all right, so here we go. Is this low gonna break? All right, let's see. All right, so new low put in outside of that range. Is this 858 level gonna hold? Or are we gonna get a push right back up? That's the question. Somebody put that was your entry. Yeah, not my entry though, because remember, like, so for me, I need conviction to the downside, right? So I want a close on a 5-minute chart below the 50 EMA. So, which is down here at this 858 level. So, and the reason why on a higher time frame, we're above the 14 and the 50. So for price to start to break down, you're going to see it on the lower time frames first. As far as being below, right? And it's dropping right now. But it's not, for me, it's not, it wasn't a short because we've been in the 30-point range for 2+ hours, right? So I would need to see like some strong selling pressure down, maybe a retest of the EMA and rejection, and then, you know, going from there. So do I trade the London session? No, I do not. That was one of my biggest, I think, struggles when I first started trading, was trying to trade every session. So you got to know like when to, you got to have breaks, mental breaks, like all of that stuff. So if I'm trading every session, when am I going to sleep? When am I going to recuperate? When, you know, spend time with my daughter, that kind of stuff. So, all right, so we're trying to break to the downside. Let's look at this 30-minute candle. All right, so Rob Fox, can you watermark to your charts to show time frame, settings, canvas, watermark? So there's nothing crazy on my charts. I got a 14 and a 50 EMA, that's it. So, I mean, I'm not sure what you want watermark. I'm literally calling out the time frame that I'm on, right? So this is the current 5-minute chart that I'm currently on. You did have a close below this 880 level. I saw somebody said they got short. Kudos to you on that. I just don't like the price action, so. Yeah, Robbie, yeah, I understand what you're saying there, that you want to see the time frame when I switch. That's why I'm trying to call it out. All right, here's that drop, right? Here's the collapse. There it is. All right, so we're below the 5-minute. We're on the 5-minute chart. Let's see if price closes below this 860 area, which is the 50 EMA. Yeah, I'll try to call it out, Rob. It's kind of like using two different systems here, so just trying to kind of frame so that way everything's in the frame. That's why I'm trying to call out the time frame I'm on so you can kind of see it. All right, so you see the reaction, right? So here's the tank fest that's been delayed. Wow, she gone. So somebody said Trump China news. Is that right? That's over a 100-point drop on this current 5-minute candle. Craziness. How was my day, D Money? Oh, it's going pretty good. I'm up 1,200 on the day. I'm doing pretty good. 4,000 yesterday, 1,200 today. So that's 5,200 on the week so far. I'll take it. All right, I want to see how this 5-minute candle closes. Can we get a push back up and retest maybe this 858 level and reject for more downside possibility? Let's check. All right, so this is the 4-hour chart that I'm on. Let me switch to the 1 hour because I want to see what's happening. All right, so we are back in between the 14 and the 50 EMA on a 1 hour chart. It looks like we tried to we tested the low, this 762 area, and pretty much had a reaction right off of it. All right, so yeah, somebody's saying Trump news. Something had to happen because that was a 100-point candle. I know that for a fact. So yeah, so if it's Trump news, guys, you need to be careful. I would advise that. You know, you trade, it's your accounts that you're trading, but I'm not gonna just jump in. You know, I would like some kind of retest back up to the upside before, because where's your stop? So if I get in right now, based on how I trade, my stop loss has to be almost 80 points. So I'm not going to do that, right? I will want to retest back up and then a push down. If I miss the trade, you know, it's basically a news trade you're trading right now, right? If Trump tweeted something, you're trading a news trade. So Just kind of keep that in mind. So, but that explains why we've been stalling for hours, right? And then now you get a dump. Oh, wow. All right, so Trump considering terminating business with China on cooking oil and trading and trade elements. Yeah, it's just hard for me to get short now because, like I said, where would a logical stop loss be after a 120.5 minute candle, right? So I would want some kind of retest back up first where I can kind of measure it. So because if not, like, it's not worth it. Good position size for a 50K account, that depends on you. I mean, I would personally, I typically don't trade more than one contract. No, I do not check 1 minute for retests. I didn't have a lot of success with the 1 minute chart, so I don't even look at the 1 minute chart. The lowest time frame that I go to is the 5 minute chart. NASDAQ. Yeah, don't say I told you. Yeah, you predicted the news, right? Like I said, we knew something was coming because it's been ranging, but I'm not going to chase a 100-point drop on a 5 minute candle. That's a news trade, right? So I'm not interested in that. That's an easy way to blow your account. But congrats if you caught those shorts or if you were short and it tanked. What news is this, Kevin? Trump tweeted something apparently about China. Yeah, so for me to even try to join, I would want to and it's literally just straight falling, right? Because of the news. So I would want to see price push up, maybe retest the 50 EMA and get rejected, and then I would look to try to join it, but doesn't look like that's happening right now. Which is fine. Like, I'm okay with that. Robert Bentley, getting out while green. D-Money, keep chilling. Hey, congrats. A win is a win, right? A win is a win. All right, so we got about 15 minutes. This current 15. All right, so look at this 15-minute candle. So we are, let's see, 200 points. Those lines are actually the previous daily candles high and low. All right, so I'm not gonna chase this, guys. So news trade, Trump news, 200-point drop. I'm not gonna chase it. I need a higher retest all the way back up here to the EMAs at least in rejection for me to get short. So if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's fine. Yeah, this is the 4-hour chart. No wick at the bottom, right? Basically, it's a straight downfall, so Exactly. Yeah, it gets crazy closer to 4 p.m. I agree. All right, so here's the 15-minute chart. Retested this range that we basically had 1030. Retested that level, and now you're starting to get some kind of reaction. But like I said, the tough part right now, like I'm not gonna chase this. Like, where would your stop? Where would a logical stop be? That's the problem. JJ, that news drop saved my accounts. I'm up 5K. Hey, congrats. Sometimes crazy things happen, right? But I'm content with staying out. So like I said, this previous 15-minute candle, we just had a 200-point drop. It's also a lower high on the hourly. Yeah, it is. So, I mean, price was stalling. We had a doji candle. Price pushed up, retest the previous 1 hour candle's high, rejected on that tweet from Trump, and then now you're dropping. So I'll be transparent with you guys. I used to hop in and try to catch the move, like a falling knife, if you want to call it that. And that's the quickest way to blow your accounts, right? You're trying to chase something, because as soon as I would get in, the retest to the upside would come. So that's why I know, for me as a trader, I'm not going to chase it. What's your risk reward in your trades, DMONEY? It depends on the setup. So like, this isn't good risk reward for me because I can't measure my stop appropriately. My stop would have to be back pretty much close to the EMAs. So if I go to this is the 5-minute chart, my stop would have to be back at like 856, because I would want price to go back up and retest the EMAs and pretty much reject it. That's too high for me, right? So that's why I said I'm not chasing anything. Up 8K for the day. 7K was from fading Ruben Garcia this morning. You're a blessing, brother. Learning so much on discipline, it has been my biggest downfall. Hey, like I said, you got to stay true to your trading style, right? So I know what has a higher percentage win rate for me and what doesn't. And right now, clearly the market's bearish now, right? The momentum is to the downside. So, but the only issue I have is, where would I get in and where could I measure a stop? It's not worth it. So tomorrow's another day, guys, right? So I took 2 trades. I'm content with it. Don Demarius, how are you feeling on day 2? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling good. Took 2 trades today, 2 buys, up about $1,200. right? I'll take that. Yesterday I made 4,000. No complaints. Tom R, give it up for Randy Watson. Correct. So no more mornings at all for you. So I'm going to be doing the 1:30 to 4 p.m. Time slot. So I'll be trading power hour, and I'll be trading, you know, basically the opening of the 4-hour candle at 2 o'clock. So 1:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's the BDH takeover, right? So that's the game plan. Russell, cool. Congrats again. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I don't take it for granted. I've had a lot of jobs, guys, that like I've done retail management, like I've mentioned before. I was a store manager for Walmart for 5 years. I ran 2 stores for them. I worked at Target for 10 years. So I was a branch manager at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. I remember like being outside in a shirt and tie, like washing people's cars, like crazy stuff, right? So I don't take this for granted. All right, so somebody put Trump cooking without us. Hey guys, you're not gonna, you know, just kind of think about it, right? So if you guess wrong on a trade, your account's blown, right? And this is basically, you're trading a news trade. That drop was a news trade. So, you know, it's not giving me a deep enough retest back to the upside for me to even want to be interested in shorting it. So, hey, I mean, that's trading. It's not gonna give you an ideal setup every day, right? I took 2 trades. I'm happy with that. Did I go to college? Yes, I have a bachelor's degree in business management. Correct. Stay true to who you are through the process, because you are a great person. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks. Am I gonna go long now? No, I'm not gonna go long. So the sell pressure. So even if I was, all right, so this is the current 1-hour candle, right? This is the 1-hour candle. So there's no reason for me to want to be long right now. And if you kind of think about it, we were ranging. If you remember how I kind of talked about it on the 5-minute chart, we were kind of stuck in this range and we just broke to the downside. So there's no longs in play for me right now. It just looks like we're not going to get a retest to the upside for rejection. And maybe that happens during the 6 o'clock hour Eastern time. You know, maybe a retest and a drop, like who knows? So yeah, I'm not interested in longs now. We broke out of the range to the downside. Somebody put 1 minute gave perfect entry. So yeah, if you trade the 1 minute and you see something on the 1 minute, like congrats to you on that. But I do not trade the 1 minute chart. D-Money, you the next big thing. Like I said, I'm humbled that you feel that way, honestly. I just love trading. I love, like I said, this is my dream job. I'm grateful for the opportunity. That's it. I like your 1 hour strategy, but I traded 30-minute, but it's the same setup. The only reason is because I don't have too much time to wait for the hour. Yeah, so my strategy works on every time frame. It works on every time frame. the wicks form the same on every time frame. The higher you go up on the time frame, the higher the actual you know, I would say my win rate is higher on the higher time frame. So the higher I go up on time frames, the higher my win rate. So I just gotta keep that in mind. But yeah, you could trade it on the 30-minute. I switched, if you notice, I was switching to the 30-minute chart. But even if you look, this is the current 30-minute chart. Like, I don't have an entry for a sell, right? Like, we're still currently in a 30-minute candle, which is gonna close at 4 o'clock. So even if I was trading off the 30-minute chart, for me, I would want a retest of the 14 and 50 EMA at least, which is it's like 800 to like 815 level. So maybe we push up there, we form some kind of resistance level, if you want to call it that, and we reject it and push down. So I don't have a trade right now. No, I do not trade quarterly theory. I mean, I do keep that, like I used to trade the quarter theory when I first started trading, but now for me, it's just a mental thing, like more psychological level. So like those even numbers tend to have a reaction, right? So like if we're looking at a 25,000 level even, then yeah, a lot of time you'll get reaction at that level for sure. And if we don't reject and go down, what would you be looking at? So I personally right now, I would only be looking for sells, right? And you can kind of see it right now. So this is the 5-minute chart. We're starting to kind of push back up. Typically when there's a lot of momentum to one side, one direction, so this is the selling pressure, you'll get priced. It'll try to push back up to the moving averages and maybe tap it or get close to it, maybe wick it and reject it. And then I would try to sell it back down, because that way I'm following the trend where the momentum is. But the unfortunate part right now is that we're not going to get that before 4 o'clock, right? Because we're literally a minute and like 45 seconds away. So that's why I said I'm not going to chase it. And like my stop loss is based off of like price kind of, I use the EMAs sometimes as a take profit level or as a stop loss level. So like if I'm getting in on the EMAs, so say I get in on the 14 EMA and I'm looking for sells, I'm taking a short, my stop loss will be above the 50 EMA, because I know if price breaks above the 50 EMA and it's above both of them on the 5-minute chart, then you can get a potential cross, EMA cross, forming to the upside. So the bulls are taking over, right? So yeah, we have a long way to go until 5 p.m. Eastern, but however, when is there the most volume in the market, right? Like you gotta keep that in mind. So for me, after 4 o'clock, I'm not interested in taking a trade, because guys, we just had a 200-point drop, right? So I'm not gonna chase something at, from 4 to 5. I would rather catch it on another day, right? Tomorrow's another day. How do you judge 14 and 50 between all the time frames to choose from? So I'm always going to have bias on the higher time frame. And then what I'm going to do, if I want to define my stop and have a more controlled stop, I'm going to go down to the lower time frame, which would be like the 5-minute chart, to get a tighter stop. Somebody put go home. You ain't lie. Hey, when you're right, you're right. Yeah, guys. I mean, I think that's, I think we, were able to catch, I was able to catch 2 buys. So just to kind of recap really quick, on a 5-minute chart, was able to catch kind of some of the buys off the range, right? this like 880 range up to like 922. Took 2 trades, made 1,200 bucks. I'm content with that. Not upset that I missed a Trump tweet in the short, right? So I would want to retest in the fall before hopping in. So thanks for everything, D-Money. Looking forward to tomorrow. All love to BDH, PW, D-Money, and all the crew. See you tomorrow. Yeah, like I think good session, guys. So like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, please do, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And tomorrow's another day, guys. So I think that's I think I'm gonna call it at this point, right? Because we're not gonna get the retest that I want. It's after 4. D-Money gone. So I will catch you guys tomorrow for Power Hour.
Every legend has a story. Every story has a beginning. New energy, new show, new money. Coming soon to the BDH the D-Money Show. Live on YouTube, weekdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Took those buys off the 200 level. Who's doing it like we doing it at the BDH, the D-Money Show, Power Hour? Nobody's doing it like us, chat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I close. I'm out. Where's my money bucket? Where's that money bucket at? It's raining money, chat. It's raining money. The market maker's raining money on me. We got a visitor, chat. Let's see who it is. Jerome's in the house. Live from the BDH. I'm here, baby. That boy good. That boy good. That boy good.
Every legend has a story. Every story has a